It's February 21st. Today I got shredded. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys all of the reasons why I took my long positions today. And I'm also going to show you every reason why I shouldn't have done that for each one. Because after I replayed the session myself, in hindsight, it's all so clear why I should have been short from basically after 8:35 in the morning. I had a tough day. I had a terrible end to the week. I will give you guys a weekly recap video probably tomorrow. This one's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to replay my live session because I want to be able to draw on the book map, and I really want to be able to show you guys where I went wrong today. And it's a lot harder for me to draw my recording, but these are my executions. I'll have them on the other side of I'll have them on my other monitors. And then to log into Tradeovate real quick, you can see my account balance is 2,300 with a $660 loss for today. So this is what my account looks like after today. But before I get started, if you guys like these videos, please give me a subscribe and give this video a like. Now in this video, I'm about to show you some things and I'm sure you will learn. So to get started, so context for today, I wanted to see a reclaim of this area from 41, which was the overnight low from not last night, but the night before. And I also wanted to see where this volume began from yesterday's open. I wanted to see this area get reclaimed, and that pretty much starts at 144. So my plan today was for this to break and then get long off of that level. In the pre-market session, I can show you guys on the DOM, price was trading right at that area. You can see some absorption happening right here. And then you can see the last buyer bought. This is a signal of a finished auction. So I don't put too much emphasis on pre-market stuff because it's lower volume and not as favorable for me to trade that, right? But anyway, this could have been a sign that potentially buyers were not ready up here. Also, on top of me wanting to see a reclaim of this 41 to 44 where the volume began, I also had this area marked from strong buying. This area represented strong buying that occurred. And what I wanted to see was, since it was supported 1, 2, 3, 4-ish times overnight, I was looking to see if it would become supported again. And then I wanted to possibly use this as a location where I could spot buyers. So my plan would have been to play long off this level, and that's why I took a long. But I'm going to show you exactly why that thesis was terrible, or not terrible, but I should show you why I did not execute that properly. So we open up and we're trading into that area. I have this area marked out. It starts at like roughly 25 and it ends at 130. So once again, what I was really looking for was for buyers to step in here for an opportunity to play long. And I did take a long position off of this. The long position entry was at 8:35, just seconds after 8:35. Let this get to my entry real quick and I will show you guys what made me enter this long. This is just before my entry. And the reason why I entered this long was because I was seeing this selling delta here, and I was reading it as sellers were getting absorbed and there was passive buyers picking this up. Looking at this closer in hindsight, what I actually see here is I do not see buyers defending where I wanted them to defend. And the reason why I say that is because you can see we're spending time in here. Price comes in here, we trade in here, we try to leave it, we come right back into it. And you're going to see that happen again. But if this was really something where, if this was really a long opportunity for me to look for buyers to defend their entries or defend their positions, this is the level marked out right here, the purple box. What I would want to see for my thesis is I would want to see price come in here and immediately come out of it and then get in on a retest to go long. This is what I would want to see. And this is not at all what we saw. What we actually saw was price traded into that area and we transacted there. We spent time there. Sellers were definitely present there. And every time we tried to get out of there, we see selling volume come in and we return right back lower. So this is something that I should have read as sellers were being, I should have read this as sellers being present in the market. And I should have either avoided this long entry or potentially even taken it short. But if I hadn't taken it short right after this, what I can show you here is that what I normally look for whenever I see participants defending their position is if I take this, if I take the chart up, whenever we left the exact area that I wanted to see buyers step in to defend, we leave there with volume, right? So now we have this area, which is a low volume node. You could see that by looking right here. A low volume node gets created by this aggressive selling volume that steps in. So if I was really on my toes today, what I should have done was I should have said, all right, selling came in strong here. We moved out of that area where I wanted to see buyers step in, but that is exactly what didn't happen. And when we left a low volume area. So what I could have done is I could have said, all right, where does it start at? I would say it starts at like 2350. Mark that out. Where does it end at? I would say it ends at 2650. Let me mark that out, 2650. And if these sellers are really real and if they're strong, they will not like it. They will defend their positions when price returns into this area. So just like the thesis that I was basing, or just like the last thesis I had, the long thesis, I wanted to see buyers step in and defend their prices or defend their positions. So before I play this, I want to say, if I was now on my toes and reading this volume, what I would want to see is I would want to see price return in here and then quickly leave. And this would offer a good opportunity to get short. And I would look for an entry in this low volume area. And then what I would do is I would put my stop loss right where the volume started. So on this chart, you can see the volume really starts at 28. And that would line up with this bubble right here. If I was on my toes today, a better decision after seeing what happened with my first trade thesis, I would have said, all right, well, my long thesis did not work out. We had strong volume come into the market. It left a low volume area. What do I normally look for when I see this type of activity happen? I normally look for an entry in here, and I normally look for putting my stop loss wherever the volume started. So I'm going to let this play sped up, and you're going to see what happens every time we come into this new low volume area that the sellers created. So you can see we get into it and we move away from it. We get into it, we get some data. Data came out at 8:45. We move away from it, we come into it. You can just tell that although, yes, we're trading in it, it's not like we're coming into the area and then staying there. It's like we're coming into the area, it's trying to leave. We're coming into the area, it's trying to leave. And this would have worked out if you would have gotten short in this area right over here and had a stop loss at 28. Wherever that volume was at, you would have had a really good entry today. And you'll see that we get a nice sell-off from there. But I never really liked to enter before data. And we had data at 8:45 today. And then we also had data at 9. So my original plan for today was actually to wait for that to happen, but I got a little bit too eager to get in a position, my first position, and honestly, for whatever reason, I was not able to flip from looking for longs today. I was not able to see this type of activity and flip looking for shorts. So I didn't feel like I was really married to that in the moment, but looking back on it, like this is a perfect short opportunity right here. And I believe there were more throughout the day just like this. You can see that, yes, we had data at 9. So like I probably wouldn't want to enter a new position if I wasn't in that short. I would not have entered a new position before that data at 9, but here's another low volume area that was created by the sell-off right here. And you can see after that data came in, it kind of acted as resistance. So I took another entry at 9:01 just after this data released, and it was because I viewed this move down, and it was because we get this move downward into demand, and then we get an immediate price immediately returns back to like where that news or where that data released at. In hindsight, this is a garbage entry. This is not a professional entry at all, and it lacks a thesis. Like the only reason why I entered this position is because price came into demand and left quickly. But you can see that there was no buying volume really that caused any type of real structure here. So like I shouldn't have been in that position, and it was garbage. But anyway, I'm looking for long since we're like in this demand zone, which started for me. I had demand starting at 115, and then I also had demand just below that starting at 109. So I had 115 and then 109 demand. But what am I looking for when I see price come into demand? I'm looking for evidence of buying. Was there any evidence of buying here? Like, no, there wasn't. It was an impulsive gambling entry that was trash. And as far as the entry at 914, let me get to 914 real quick, and I can show you why I entered there. So I already know why I entered, and it was because I saw this volume here come in, and this was the most significant buying volume of the day. Was it really crazy? Was it anything I should have been really like excited to enter off of? No, it wasn't. It was just buying volume. It was honestly probably a lot of shorts covering their positions down here. But anyway, so my thesis for this one was, all right, we had this buying volume come in. We got a nice little push out of this demand that I had at 6109. And what I was looking for here was I was looking for long. I wanted to see a pullback long, which you're seeing happening right now. And I wanted to get long somewhere in this area with my stop loss right below 108.50. My stop loss was right below 107.50. I was mistaken. So I entered on this pullback. All right, I went too far, and I don't feel like replaying the entire day for this explanation. But what happens is I got in like right here at 914, and I immediately got stopped out, and then price immediately went right back up. So I was like, all right, maybe that was a stop run. I entered same stop loss, like 107 area, and then eventually I get stopped out again. In hindsight, catching a short up here was very clear, and I should have been able to just follow the volume. After all, that's what I'm here to do. I have bookmap to do that. But I was too obsessed with being a buyer, and I was not able to flip my thesis or bias for the day, and it bit me in my ass. But I will say that yes, I lost like $600 today. Yes, my account is at 2,300 when I was just at 3,500. Days like today are the days where you learn from them and you take that information and you nail it into your brain so that this doesn't happen again. So to tell you guys what I learned from today is and I already knew this, but I learned that I need to really pay attention to the volume and be more of a neutral position. Like on that first thesis where I wanted to see buyers defend their position, if I would have been able to flip my bias after this happened, then this day would have been probably great. And I probably would have walked away with like, I would not be surprised if I walked away with like a 19, 18, 20 point winner from today. But I just needed this day to really solidify that concept in my head that if buyers were really going to step in and defend here, I would have seen price come into this area and leave it quickly, and then I would have gotten in on a retest, and that would have been the ideal long position. Today I was just trying to catch a bottom really, and that is not something that you want to do as a trader. I got to get these concepts really nailed into my brain, but I am not tripping about this week. This week was tough. There's many errors that I made, and I'll make a whole video for tomorrow on The weekly recap, this is the part of trading that really defines you. How do you perform after you get yourself into some drawdown? And by the way, if you guys like these recaps, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. If you want to connect with order flow traders, join the order flow Discord in my description, and I will catch you guys in the next one.